Everyone is obsessed by what is the best AI model out there. Is it GPT 4.5? Is it Claude 4? Is it Gemini? But what actually is the best AI model out there for using in n8n AI automations? Now, the truth is a bit boring. It depends. Some models are better at some things than other models are. But how do you figure out what is the best for your specific workflow? Well, I have built a tool for this, which I'm going to share for you absolutely for free. And it's a tool that you can use to figure out for any workflow what is the best AI model you've been using right now in order to get the best results for your AI workflows within n8n. Just because some dude on Reddit says, oh, this is the best AI model for writing blogs, doesn't mean it actually is. You might see it and you might think, actually, that's crap compared to this model over here. So this tool that I've built allows you to find out what is the best AI model for you for your specific AI workflow you've built. Let me show you the tool. Okay, so this is the n8n workflow here, and what it will do is it will give us a form on n8n which looks like this one here, and it will allow you to give a name of the test you want to run, the query, the system prompt, and choose which models you want to try out. And once you submit this, it's going to create a page on a Google Sheet that looks like this. It's going to give you the information, and then it's also going to give you the outputs of those different models that you selected. And it's going to allow you to score these outputs before you see which output comes from which different model. This is really important as it allows you to take bias out of the equation, because you might think that Claude 3.7 Sonnet is really good, therefore I'm going to subconsciously favor that one. Instead, you can pick which one's your favorite, then you can see, okay, which one actually belongs to each, and then you can see, okay, actually, I like this one the best, so therefore I'm going to pick 3.5 Turbo rather than anything else, just because you know that 4.0 Mini is meant to be more clever. Okay, so let's have a look at this in action. Okay, so for this test, we are going to test out the intelligence of these models. So I'm going to put in intelligence test, and the query is going to be a very basic one. The question we're going to ask is, if Sarah is twice as old as John was 3 years ago, and John is now 10, how old is Sarah? Correct answer is 14 years old. Let's see how many will get it, as it does test the actual thinking ability and intelligence of a model. The prompt is going to be, you are a helpful assistant, pretty much as vanilla as you can make it. And the models we're going to select are all of them. You can, of course, add more models. If you go and download this yourself, link will be down in the description. You can then change these models, or you can add more. I've left instructions on how to do that here, so you can do that. So let's go submit. And once this has submitted, it's going to create a new sheet for us on our Google Sheet. So if you're setting this up for yourself, you will need to create a Google Sheet for yourself, and you'll need to connect that within here. And once you have that, it's going to create a new sheet. We're going to need to drag this across, and you can see the last one's just loaded in, and we can have a look at these outputs. So all of them have answered 14. So even this one here, which I believe is GPT 3.5, which technically I shouldn't know that, but the order is always the same. You can add in an improvement into this to make sure that these are mixed up. But all of them count as 14, which goes to show, if I show all of these, that actually paying for Claude 3.7 Sonnet compared to 3.5 Turbo, you're getting no better intelligence, right? You're paying more, but you're getting no better intelligence, as this test shows. Now, you might want to give it more than one go just to test that it's not an outlier. But you can see here in this intelligence test, actually, they all do the same. And that goes to show that people talking about, oh, this new model, or this new model, or this new model, actually, it doesn't matter. They all produce the same result. A model that was released, was that 2 years ago, nearly, is just as good as a model, 4.0, what's that? I can't remember, 6 months ago, 4 months ago. Okay, so let's have a look at another example. In this next example, I'm going to make it an explainer. And I want it to explain or condense this bit of information here, which I'm going to copy in, which is about photosynthesis. If I open this up, we can see photosynthesis. And the prompt is going to be, explain the paragraph as if you're talking to a 5-year-old. And we're going to select all of these. Now, a really important thing to know here is the prompt will have a massive, massive effect upon the output, as you probably know if you work with AI. But also, the prompt will have a different impact for each different model. Each different model will react to the prompt differently, and we're going to be able to see that when we submit this, when we test it, and see what the output is. So there we go, form is submitted. Let's go over to Google Sheets. Let's go on Explainer. And we can see that they are starting to trickle in. We're going to see that some models are a little bit slower and therefore take longer to come in. There we go, that is completed now. We've got that second one here, and we can see it's got some emojis. And you can see that we've got the other ones as well. And there we go, that's our output. We can go through and we can score these and say, yeah, that's a 3, that's a 5, I really like that one. This is a 2, and that's a 1 because it's not very long. 5 is the best. Which one is that? Okay, that's DeepSeek R1, fantastic. That's the model I'm going to use for this particular use case. And the key point here is that DeepSeek R1 is not always going to be the best model. Sometimes if you're doing something else, you're going to want a different model. But in this situation, if you like this the best, then this is going to be the best one. Let's go through another example. So I'm going to execute this workflow again. Now for this one, I'm going to pretend that we are doing some outreach and that we want to write an email to outreach to companies. So I'm going to say outreach test, and the query is going to be write a short, friendly, cold email introducing your service and encouraging a reply. And the prompt, or the system prompt, is going to be, let's expand this. You run a company that provides AI-powered workflow automation for e-commerce stores. You are targeting Shopify owners who are struggling with abandoned cart or abandoned cart sequences. Okay, so let's select these models. Again, you can change these models when you run this for yourself. And let's send that off. Form has been submitted. Great, let's go over and let's see this one down here. And it's going to take a minute or two, or not a minute, you can see they're coming in already, but it's going to take a second for these to generate. Okay, and there we go. We have got all 4. Let me zoom out a little bit so we can see them. We can see that this second one, I can't remember which one that is, loves a good emoji, that second one. And we can see that all of them require more information. So this is an interesting bit of information that when you're setting this up, you can say, oh, okay, they've all left placeholders for the name, the company, and the title. So I might want to go back over to where we've submitted the form and change it so that we are actually inputting those bits of information so they can produce a better output. Now that's quite a basic example, but you'll be able to see where these are falling short. And then actually the most powerful thing you could do, rather than changing the model, is changing the context or changing the system prompt. So we can say, for context, this is my information, this is the company I'm emailing from, this is our website. You could say things like, do not include emojis, or you could say include loads of emojis. You could say, make sure each paragraph is only 1 sentence long. You could say include no more than 4 paragraphs. So you can really test out the context, the system prompt, and how it interacts with each model in order to find the best match between your context, your system prompt, and the model. So we can go through here, we can score these and see which one we like best. I think this one might be the best, so I'm going to select this one, and we can see this one's Claude. Okay, so for this scenario, I'm going to use Claude, even though on the previous one, I liked DeepSeek the best. For this example, I like Claude the best. If I wasn't using a tool like this, then maybe I would have selected Claude for both, and I wouldn't have seen the intricacies between why I like this model for this thing and why I like this model for this thing. Now, I'm not going to break down exactly how this works. I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can download this for yourself. If you do want to know more about how this works and how to link it together, or if you're having any difficulties setting this up, then come on over to the free Applied AI Club. Again, link will be in the description down below, and I'll be able to help you out with any questions you've got in regards to putting this into action and testing it out. There are also some improvements that I know of that I am going to be making. And I think I'll also create a version of this which has a nice graphical user interface, so a nice way that you can interact with it, so that rather than having to go into n8n and then open up this and then come over to spreadsheets, you can just have it in one sort of like web tool. So if you're interested in that, come over to the Applied AI Club, subscribe to the channel, like the video, subscribe, and you will see that video when it comes out, all about putting this into a bit of a nicer format. I hope this video has been useful for you, breaking down what actually is the best AI model to use in your n8n workflows so you can get the best result. And it really depends. You've got to test it, and that is exactly what this system helps you to do. So that's it from this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.